The innovation that has created the most discussion and debate has happened in the last decade, right, which has been the growth of new institutions in Asia, largely centered around China. Right? These are things like the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, right, SICA, RCEP, right? These are largely China-based institutions. And so the question is, with the growth of all these new institutions, are they all competing with each other now, right? There are people who talk about what institutional balancing, right, between these institutions China's developing and the existing alliance system. As China has created these institutions, it's also been fairly clear about how it does not like the U.S. hub and spokes architecture, right? China has tried to delegitimize the alliance system, calling for a new form of security in Asia, calling the U.S. alliance system selfish because it's an exclusive security arrangement, right? It's a partnership, it's not inclusive, and even referring to them as Cold War dinosaurs, right? Things that are from the Cold War era. So the whole question is whether we have a zero-sum view of all this architecture developing in Asia, and where it's all headed. And I'll just give you my opinion on this, which is I don't think that this is zero-sum. I think that what is emerging in Asia is not a choice of whether you need to be a part of U.S. institutions or Chinese institutions. It's not a matter of choice, but it is what I call a complex patchwork of partially overlapping, parallel, sometimes interlinked structures in which there is no hierarchy among them. Right? And this is very messy. Right? This is not the European Union. This is much messier than what we see in Europe. But in Asia, the messiness may be a good thing. Right? This is a region of changing power, of different regime types. You have everything from advanced industrialized democracies like Japan and Korea to countries that are rolling back from democracy like Russia, to countries right on the cusp like Vietnam, to countries like North Korea, right? Total dictatorships. So we have all these different regime types, changing power differentials, unresolved history. And in these sorts of situations, as some regime theorists will tell you, complexity may actually be a good thing. Right? Complexity, messiness may be a good thing because it may help to mute the security dilemmas or insecurity spirals that might exist if we were to simply create one single hierarchical organization. Right? If it's messy, mitigates the membership problems, the exclusivity problems. It allows countries to forum shop, which is like, you know, I have this issue, I want to see if I can work with this group. They say no, so then let me try this group, let me try this group, right? If you're not a member of this organization, like if you're not a member of this table, right, you can be a member of this table because some people from this table will be part of this table. So there's a lot of overlapping and messiness about what's happening in Asia that is not necessarily a bad thing. Is it efficient? It is not efficient. Right? It is not efficient. But to create a single hierarchical arrangement will incite more problems, right? More competition than it would to sort of allow this thing to happen or grow as it is now. So at the end of the book, I say, you know, in the end, what we all want is peace. And peace is not necessarily something that can be manufactured based on the way it worked in another region. And so we have to accept what's growing in Asia as being organic. And while there may be some competition that takes place, in the end, the complexity of Asia's architecture is the architecture of Asia. And we should not try to make it something that it's not, because thus far, it's helped to promote peace and prosperity in the region.